I hope to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play the season. I spent hours in the gym every day with the singular goal of getting back out there. Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I'm feeling. I want to thank everyone who has had my back through all this uncertainty. This has been incredibly frustrating, but even in the bad, there is good. And the way the fans continue to show up for me and for the Fever brought me so much joy and important perspective. I'm so proud of how this team has only gotten stronger through adversity this year. Now it's time to close out the season and claim our spot in the play.
WNBA viewership plummets to record low just 72 hours after Caitlin Clark exit. They're panicking. The WNBA has been thrown into complete chaos just 72 hours after Caitlin Clark confirmed she would not be returning for the 2025 season, and the fallout has been nothing short of catastrophic. Clark, who had been sidelined since July 15 with a groin injury, finally put all speculation to rest with her announcement, leaving fans devastated and league executives scrambling. The numbers tell a brutal story. When Clark was on the floor, Indiana Fever games averaged 1.26 million viewers per broadcast.
The norm for the WNBA is being largely ignored by the media. Largely ignored by sports media. Not considered a real professional league, to the point where people didn't even know it existed until CC22. That's just a fact. You can't believe how many times I have people come in the chat and say, I didn't even know that there was a professional women's basketball league until Caitlin. Yeah, it's the facts.
Since her injury, national ratings have plummeted to under 750,000, a staggering 53% collapse. Non-Clark games have fallen even harder, drawing just 549,000 viewers on average, which is nearly 40% below her personal draw. And now that Clark has officially shut down her season, the league is staring down what analysts are already calling a ratings apocalypse. Ticket sales mirror the disaster. Fever games featuring Clark saw resale prices soar above $150, while her absence caused prices to crash to as little as $25 in Chicago and even $1 in Washington, D.C. after teams moved venues expecting Clark crowds that never came.
The Fever and Clark saying that she tried to get back on the floor. It appears that she just ran out of time, not able to get enough confidence back in her body as the season wraps up and the playoffs are likely about to begin for Indiana. I mean, it's a gut punch that basically encompasses an entire season of them. The Fever have lost so many players to injury, but obviously none bigger than Clark. And there was such a wait for this second season after her magnificent rookie season. And then, the anticipation of her possibly coming back only for that.
The desperation from franchises who banked their financial year on her presence is now on full display, and with Indiana clinging to a playoff spot at 21-20, the dream of a deep postseason run is effectively over. For fans, this feels like betrayal. Many accuse the Fever front office of stringing them along, dangling false hope of her return to keep seats filled and broadcast numbers afloat. But the truth is finally out, and the anger is growing. Commentators like Jason Whitlock and Colin Cowherd, who once led their shows with Clark's highlights, openly admit they no longer see a reason to discuss the WNBA without her. The brutal reality is that Clark wasn't just the biggest star, she was the league's product.
When she was supposed to return versus the Minnesota Lynx, supposedly, and then the Scott Agneses and all them start talking about she suffered a bone bruise in Phoenix, I told y'all it was a wrap. It was done. It was done. They knew it. And I believe they've known far longer. They have known. They've kept us fans in the dark, and it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Man, I was so looking forward to watching Caitlin Clark play this season. Now we have to wait an entire offseason, and we don't even know what's going to happen. There might be a lockout. There might not even be a 2026 season, guys.
Sports economists had projected her economic impact at nearly $1 billion this season, factoring in merchandising, tourism, ticket sales, and TV revenue. That projection is now in ashes. Meanwhile, the jealousy and targeting Clark endured from rival players only make this collapse sting worse. The league failed to protect its most valuable asset, and by allowing excessive physical play against her, they may have ensured the very outcome they now dread. The WNBA spent decades trying to grow its audience, and Clark brought in millions of new fans almost overnight, but without her, the league feels more like a forgotten niche than a national spectacle. Sponsors are reconsidering deals, TV networks are reshuffling programming, and casual fans are openly declaring they're done until she returns. What should have been a triumphant playoff season is instead shaping up to be the most painful stretch in league history. Caitlin Clark's decision to shut it down has left a gaping void that no storyline, no rivalry, and no replacement can fill.